Hello guys, Hell Jackie here, coming at you with my fourth of four pre-built or zone cities that I am ready to develop. I'm just going to do a quick video while I kind of press the play button and get ready. Well, it's not really quick, these things usually take about an hour. Hoping the game will be a bit more stable than Slayton Shores, which was the last video I did. Since I quit that video, the population expanded to about 750,000 residents. And it's also quite a busy nexus point, just with a couple of highways and stuff that intersected. So all that kind of flows into the city of Slayton, which I'll be making today. This city will be kind of on the edge of this huge metro area that I've been working on for the past 6 years. 2014, I think, is when I started making this this mega region. So yeah, it's been a while. The population, as you can see in the sidebar here, is almost 40 million people. So after I build this, this will probably exceed the actual population of Canada in real life. I think it's got about maybe 38, 39 right now. I think the census information will come out next year that will confirm that. But either way, I've probably exceeded it now, and I will officially succeed it when I start developing this city. I'll just back it off. I'll go to the transportation view before I start. So you'll see that everything up to the edge of this major river or canal or whatever is ready. Nothing on this side yet. This will be mostly medium density, just like the city of Slayton Shores. And then anything that I start doing on the other side of this this major river here will be mostly low density. And then on the other side of this strait is the mostly farmland and stuff. So I've already got like a couple of prefabricated things ready to go here. Pre-done the highways and interchanges and stuff before it heads out, but this will mostly be low density, especially because you start getting into the mountains and stuff. You can start working over here as well, to the south. Really haven't done too much work to the south. Kind of going east to west, it looks like, or at least diagonally. I'm going diagonal, which is very much like SimCity 4 doesn't like going diagonal. It's hard to do, but I guess I'm doing it just based on the geography here. But as I talk, I'll just start loading the city because it'll take a little while, even though it's not developed yet. What else? What else? Oh yes, I am planning to, once I'm done this video and get this city up and running, I'm going to be making a complete backup of everything I'm doing in SimCity 4. I do this periodically, but I'm still running Windows 7. It's been about a month or so since the official support for Windows 7 ended, but I was just scared that, you know, maybe for some reason SimCity 4 didn't load, and I want to get these cities running, and have a video ready for you guys before I work out all the pain points, because I do know that SimCity 4 does work on Windows 10, but it might take some getting used to. So I'll be doing that. So I'll be backing up all my plugins, all my regions, everything to make sure that I have like a solid starting point in case things fail and I wipe something out or something isn't compatible. I'll always have a kind of a gold standard to go back on, and I wanted to make sure that this city was part of it, because I really don't want to redevelop this and then, you know, that'll be a waste. Things won't look the way they were. So anyways, because this is a major river, there's two major bridges here. One's for a highway, the other carries rail and bullet train. It runs through here. There's another major rail line. I don't know if you saw it in the region view, but they kind of all come in and connect. So there's a huge rail station that I've put here. Well, I shouldn't say a huge rail station, but just an interesting diagonal network that kind of goes elevated over everything. So that'll be interesting. The music is starting to... Well, I thought the music was going away, but it's still loading. As you can see, I have a few plops and things here. There's some plops here, some plops here, just some things that I've done. But the rest of it's all zoned, unlike a lot of other things that you see posted on the internet these days from SimCity 4. I am still a farmer when it comes to my cities. I like to grow my buildings. I don't prefabricate or plop anything when people have things to showcase. They usually take the time and make sure that everything is kind of put together all perfectly and everything. I'm very organic. I'll do all the roads and stuff, but the vast majority of the items you see are kind of grown from nowhere. So, all right, here we go. So people were asking about this user interface last time. This is called the blue user interface, I believe. I don't know if it actually has another name. Blue Menu, maybe. There's a diet generic brand in Canada called Blue Menu. But anyways, that's what it is. And then, yeah, this like crystal thing at the bottom, I think it's like a forget the name of this, but just kind of look for it. It's kind of neat. You can also get a mod that changes like the background texture too, but yeah, I don't have it. So let's do a quick tour of the city before I press the play button. I believe everything's ready to go. I might have to tweak taxes and things again. Yeah, let's just kind of throw. I want lots of people. I always start kind of cheap, right? I always have a huge bank account to start. So if I run a deficit for a while, that's okay. So I already set these to 20, so that's good. I don't think there's a lot of industrial in this city, but we'll kind of just start here and work our way around the coast, and then kind of go into the main bit. So there's a terminal here, and then there's some marshlands that I've laid out at the edge of the major river here. Then I've got I believe a hospital. Some kind of like major campus or something. People are curious what it is. It's called Matt B 325 Modern Hospital. So that'll take care of quite a lot of patients. Apparently it employs 10,000 doctors and can treat 320,000 patients. So that is quite a hospital. And then here's, of course, is the major bullet train bridge and rail bridge. As you can see, there's already a train going by. I'm sure that volume will increase for a bit. There's not too much else to the other side. This bridge doesn't look too good for the rail crossing. It kind of dips into the river here. I want to replace that. But I'm not going to do that right now, because if I delete this, then I might have to replop that, and there's a possibility I might crash the game. So anyways, that's the major rail crossing. Some more marshlands, looks like a marina. And then we have this is the major highway crossing. The highway traffic vanishes here because I kind of put in some details and cosmetic pieces, I guess, and I did that while it was paused. So that's why the traffic kind of disappears. It'll come back once I press the play button. And then there's more marshlands, more marinas. Then we start to curve a little bit outwards now as the marshlands end. And we move into another ferry terminal. I don't know what is with SimCity 4. Even with the NAM, people love taking the ferry. You have all the bridges in the world, and yet ferry traffic's very high. So I want to make sure it's there to appeal to them. Basically, because this is your entire highway, right? You can go anywhere you want as long as there's ferry ports. Alright, so speaking of ferry ports, this is the marina that's spawning all those things. It looks like it's a little flooded right now. If you want to get out to your boats, you might have to wade through some deep water. That's fun. And then, yeah, there is some industrial here, so not too much. Just kind of along the edge of a rail line, where there's a station here. And it heads out to the next city. Oh yeah, I had a bit of a problem with my rail connections in the other city. That's why I kind of dragged another network here. So it's good to know that the southern two routes are the ones that are working. I'll just kind of do that temporarily. I'll fix the connection a little bit later. Sometimes you have to tinker with it. I'm always like a tile off, especially with the RHW connections too, this highway connection. But it does look like there's some traffic using it already. So let's follow the rail line, and maybe we'll follow the highway. Yeah, so the rail line kind of goes underneath a bit, and then it also goes underneath the highway. I guess we can do both the highway and the rail because they run parallel with each other for a bit. So there's an interchange here. It's kind of a diamond interchange on one side and kind of full to the other side. Just because of I had room here for a loop. And now I didn't really want to do much else here because there's a rail line here. I don't know. I just felt like it was a kind of a nice, natural kind of thing to fill in this area here. So, yeah. Hopefully it works all right. Then here we've got a bridge, double bridge over the highway. Double highway bridge over the rail line. And then we start to run parallel with one another. lots of roundabouts as well. I built a secondary rail line here just because this area might get a little congested. I didn't do enough forward thinking though. I didn't put enough room underneath this. That's some major work. So it just runs as one rail line until it gets to the station again. So kind of cognizant of real life, right? You always have run into some bottlenecks. This should at least help capacity a little bit. And you'll see why, because as we get a bit further down, we start to have kind of a branch here. So there's some, the highway straightens out, whereas the rail line has a branch connects to this dual industrial line. Okay, another industrial area. Tells you I'm not very familiar with this area. It's been a while since I've been here. It just kind of heads out of the city there. So we got that. And the two rail lines kind of come together. So this rail line here just kind of bypasses all the on and off connections. They're not off ramps like highways, but they're connections just like the others. And if you hear a little of additional noise, one of my cats has just kind of jumped onto me. So he's playing with the wires. Cat, no! No, you don't play with the wires. I know they look nice. I made sure he was sleeping. I made sure both of my cats were sleeping before I started this video, but I guess one of them woke up anyway. So yeah, anyway, that's why that secondary rail line is there. So sorry, just taking a drink of something, and it starts to kind of merge together a bit. I'll just pan over here. So there's another highway interchange here, and this is where the highway starts to kind of lose or gain a lot of lanes depending on which way you travel. So at this bridge, it has only 6 lanes, right? 3 in each direction. But when you get to this major interchange here, well, it's not majors, and it's going to be a major commuter interchange. You gain a lane for both of the ramps connecting. So this forms your 4th lane here from this loop-de-loop, and then the 5th lane comes from this regular ramp connection or whatever. So yeah, and then from here it takes on its wide highway appearance for the rest of the region. So that's kind of one of the transitions I was talking about when going from medium to light density. It is low density. The highway itself just narrows, so it can't really accept as much volume. So you could say that the three lanes here, the 3 inner lanes, are the kind of through traffic or interregional traffic, whereas the outer 2 lanes, once it comes here, are kind of for local traffic and all kinds of new and entering and exiting volumes. So that's basically the highway, but we'll keep following the rail line. This is where things get interesting. So this actually overpasses with a dual span. This doesn't look that bad. This took me a long time to build. Even though it's all pops and it's 15 meters, this took me longer than I would want to tell you. A lot of the highway construction takes a while, but I'm used to that. But this rail junction was a pain, especially because I had to make sure that there was enough room for both avenues to go under, and for the curve, and for the station, and enough room for the proper incline over here. Everything kind of had to line up correctly, so the slopes were all perfect. Because, you know, if this curve was a tile further out, then the slopes wouldn't work for the bridge. I'd have to kind of drag this out another tile or so. So that took some time. Anyways, there's one last rail station before it heads out on the bridge, and then the tracks go back down to 1. And there's also a bullet train station here to interchange before you head out to the middle of nowhere. And then this also uses one of those rare double height pieces here. So this is kind of neat. You can just see how high the bullet train line gets over top the avenue here. And that's that double height piece, which I haven't used since... I have to say, I haven't used the double height since the 7.5 meter overpasses became available. Using 15 meters was rare enough, but 35 meters, which is double the height of the original 15 meters, is quite high. So think about it, 35 meters. There's some decent looking office buildings and towers that are 35 meters. That's higher than that. Whoa, dude. Makes you think. Let's follow the bullet train line, shall we? So, there's a hockey arena here, some parks, football stadium, major high school. I guess they go play some games there. Baseball stadium here, so true Americana, I would say, right? You got baseball and gridiron football. No real soccer pitch or regular football. And over here, there's kind of like a kind of a central public square district. Got some schools, some museums. Another bullet train station here. Just lots of public space. Place for gathering and just hanging out. Maybe build some bars nearby. Maybe these can be some bars or something. And yeah, that kind of heads out of the city with some commercial zones. Not too much going on in this south end of the city. It's just zones and lots of use of the road turning lanes, quick turns. So I might have to beautify this a bit depending on how things develop. I might have to pop like a park here, throw in a couple of bus stops because obviously there's not a lot of transit. Without a lot of transit, there's not a lot of desirability, and also a lot of traffic congestion, which people don't like. So anyways, we come over here. I've always liked this golf course. I've mentioned it before, I think back in my Building for a City from Scratch series. But that's not going to develop very well. Sorry. They don't like... A 4x1 lot will never grow organically. It's got to be at least 4x2. Ooh, I'm zoning dense here. You know what? I'm going to keep it dense. Why not? I'm just so used to hitting the dense button. Yeah, I've always liked the Maxis golf course, even though it's incredibly unrealistic in terms of scale. This is more like a pitch and putt. It's a pitch and putt course rather than like an actual golf course. I actually like pitch and putt playing because it doesn't take a whole lot of time, and on really hot days or days you got a lot of other things to do, you know, it only takes an hour, you don't break a sweat, and it's just kind of nice to get out there and do some things. So I'll call this the pitch and putt course. And also this clubhouse is from the 2002 game Sid Meier's Sim Golf, which if you haven't played, I do recommend. It's just a fun game. Lots of go-karts and stuff, and people get mad if you make the courses too difficult. And if it's too easy, people also get mad, so you gotta find that perfect balance. Yeah, so anyways, also over here, maybe like a tech or research sector, if you want to call it that. And then that kind of heads up to that public square. So that's where I did a lot of those plops that you saw in the region view. The two one-way roads kind of converge here. That was kind of in the middle of all this stuff. Go underneath the rail line, and then you've got more kind of senseless suburbia. So I might put in some more parks and stuff here, just depending on how things grow. And then back to the highway and whatnot. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Am I missing anything? Not really too much. Okay, I'm gonna press the play button because it's been almost 20 minutes and you haven't seen any development. So you're being like, what the hell's going on? But I haven't really done too much, so I won't save the game. But I will start over here in the vast corner here and zoom out, because this game gets insanely slow when I'm recording, and an entire city is growing at one time. So for those complaining about my frame rate and performance issues, when I press this, the game works harder than almost any other time. It's just, yeah, the frame rate's slowed down to like 1 FPS. Being at this zoom level doesn't really change too much, I think. Alright, we got some construction. I'm just going to take a quick screenshot here. If it'll come up. Because, you know, I'm snap happy. I'm showing the first developments of the city. Usually it's always commercial. Usually it's always. That seems like an oxymoron. Residential usually takes a few months to develop. So yeah, we got basically some low wealth office, and it's like a small retail store. Yes, the frame rate isn't even moving right now. Makes me scared, like there's gonna be a crash or something soon. Oh yeah, like the other city, because this is only medium density, there is no subway system. What you see on this view is what you get. There is nothing else below to help. Just the surface routes, just the rail, the bullet train, the bus stops, the roads, the highways. That's it. We got 31 people in this city. Expect that number to skyrocket by a factor of at least 10,000. Because I'm expecting at least 310,000 people, I guess, in this city. The mail rating has gone way up, though. Oh, 1,000 people. That's quite the increase. Let's see where there's a lot of construction. Obviously, a lot of construction is along some of the nicer areas, right? Like, people love developing at the edges of parks and transit, major infrastructure lines. Whoa, that's quite a building. Was that dense? Was that medium residential? I like this building, though. If anyone's curious what it's called, I'm going to let you know as soon as the screenshot is done. Because seeing this being developed in the middle of nowhere doesn't make any sense. This belongs in like a place like Manhattan or something. This is called the Lincoln Heights Tower. It's a growable, and it will employ almost 4,000 high-wealth jobs, so expect quite a lot of people. Oh, this is high density. I zone some high density here. That's why. So you'll see quite a lot of skyscrapers here. Okay, cool. Why not? You can. Sometimes I zone. The other city I didn't do a lot of high density, and this one I might have done some mistake. Yeah, so a lot of people are developing by the river's edge. Makes sense. If you're gonna build anywhere where there's nothing, pick a nice spot. Pick a spot with a nice, nice view of the. This is a straight, but call it the water's edge, waterfront. I didn't put any bike paths or anything here, though. Just kind of a more natural growth kind of appearance. All the trees and stuff. If anyone's curious what this is, I've downloaded a lot of stuff recently from an active creator called MattB325. He's posted a lot of stuff on Metropolis. I believe SimCity 4 Devotion's got a lot too. So, yeah, he makes quality stuff. And the beauty of his stuff, and I'm not, making him look nice compared to other people, but a lot of his stuff requires no dependencies, or at least few dependencies. So you don't have to download one building. Sometimes you have to download a dozen or more dependencies, which is just a pain in the arse. This is kind of neat. It's all kind of developing along one road. See, I've been downloading stuff since 2005. Yeah, so I've got a lot of those dependencies that they're referencing, like the mega props or whatever that were made back in 2003, 2004, and I've got all that developed already. Yeah, it looks like a lot of residential growth, which is what I want to see. Because this is on the edge of the mega region, this is going to be more of a bedroom community. People commuting further into the city, I would say. So I'm happy to see that. Happy to see lots and lots of growth. Shopping mall here. We've got quite a lot of traffic already too. Wow. Just based on the visuals. I run the NAM simulator on low. There's different traffic simulators you can get because I like the challenge. So when you run on low, even just 11,000 cars on a highway, which really isn't too much in terms of realistic standards, does generate a lot of UI traffic. Because if things aren't that congested, you could have a... oh no. I thought the game was going to crash for a second. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give the game a quick save, actually, right now. Because the first moments of the city, if this crashes, I'll never get it the same. What was I saying? Yes, traffic simulators. I run the NAM simulator on low, and that means I get like a lot of visual traffic And it's also a lot more challenging because when there's congestion, you got to work at it because that comes with lower volumes. But let's say you had I only had 11,000 cars using that highway. If you're running this on high or ultra, it wouldn't really look like too many cars were there because you wouldn't only see that in high volume. So let's kind of go back. In fact, I'm gonna go back out here and go on a whim and zoom out. This city's not as big as the other city, so hopefully less chances of crashing. But yeah, everything's growing. Pretend this is like a big field, big farmer's field, but instead of growing corn, I'm growing all kinds of other stuff. There's a no job zone here. So I might have to add some more jobs, depending on how things grow. But again, I was envisioning this to be more of a bedroom community, so I think if I load the other city, these guys will notice that there's jobs in that city and kind of move over. So I might rezone a few areas here as commercial, just because I'm seeing those early warning signs. I'm gonna check my city ordinances as well. Let's see how things are going here. Right. So again, this is all from like a radical ordinance mod. I just want to make sure everything's ticked off, except for the carpool and commuting stuff, because I want to make sure that all works. Fastest method of commute is ticked off. No, I won't. I don't want that. I want my Sims to be dumb. Okay. What else? What else? High density. Yeah, so I'll have to watch out for the lack of jobs. They took our jobs. I love that South Park episode. Yeah, not too much traffic, but it just looks heavy. If I was to bring up the traffic, right? It's not red in terms of congestion, but it's high in terms of volume. Because it's in reference to road traffic. You can see this big red line just in the traffic. And obviously it's red over here because that's where the ferry terminal is. A lot of people like taking the ferry. Same with down here. There's the other ferry terminal. Obviously it's red. And of course for the evening commutes, it's going to be the exact opposite. Usually is. Yeah, let's go check out some other areas of the city. Almost to 100,000 people already. Does not take them very long. At least in Canada, when a city reaches 100,000 people, it's a significant milestone. Call it a census metropolitan area. It's over 100,000. The city doesn't have to be 100,000, but it could be the, let's say the city's 70,000 and you've got like some areas that are around it that are 10,000, 15,000, 5,000, right? That'll all total to 100,000. That's when it gets that designation as a census metropolitan area. Yeah, a lot of traffic. A lot of traffic visually. Just visually right now. It's all about the congestion. It's starting to go down. Take the train! Because I got rid of that fastest method of commute, though, things might calm down because they don't have to use the fastest road. They can kind of go elsewhere. Traffic volume. Yeah, things kind of putter down a little bit. Pedestrian volume's going up a bit. A lot of people are taking the ferry, as I expected. That'll kind of max out. Like, see how it's kind of flatlined a bit here? So I don't think much more people will take the ferry. We'll see. Hardly anyone on the train, though, I think. Alright, now we're getting some of the poor folks. It's not a big deal. Having low-income Sims, as long as you've got proper education facilities available, these zones will eventually kind of grow into better areas. What the hell's happening here? I don't think this popped right. This turn lane didn't really go in too well. It's kind of broken. Give this a quick pause. Clear the brush out of the way so I can kind of see what's going on. This is just what happens when you plop things too close sometimes. So I will fix that. Let's use the quick turn, flex turn. Quick turn is the one below, which makes the prefabricated intersections. Here I'm just making a little patch, so I'll just make the flex turn. Okay, I probably want one lane here of double S, or do I want two? Let's do two. The other side, I'll just throw in the one. And then from here, the beauty, there's no other puzzle pieces to make. You just drag, and it's done. And it's fully functional and mapped, and you don't have to worry about plopping intersection pieces that plop perfectly. This is really a nice benefit in the in NAM 36. Yeah, I think I mentioned in the last video, but NAM 37 is out for some alpha tests right now, so maybe in a couple more builds and patches, it might get a public beta. So yeah, after a couple of years, it's coming back. This game's still alive and well. Even with City Skylines, I still prefer it to Skylines. Skylines I like as a sandbox, but this is a real simulator. This provides me more of a challenge. Like when I see heavy traffic, I gotta take care of it. In Skylines, you're lucky to get to 6 digits in this city. SimCity 4, I've got many cities with 7 digits, and not just a 1. Some have 2, and I think I've got 1 city with a 3. Of course, if you're going crazy, you could definitely get a city with 4, 5, 6. I think the biggest I've seen was 7 million, but it's very unrealistic. I'm not saying that my cities are very realistic, but you know, I try to give it a bit more of a go. What I build is what I like. I'm doing things my way. If I want a realism, guess what? I got reality to go to. I don't need to be super realistic here. I kind of like a blend. Doing my own thing, but of course paying some homage to how things are sort of made in the real world. Scale doesn't have to be exactly 1-to-1. $150,000 people now. Now, I still got some no job slots, so you know what? I know you just build now. That's dense. I don't want dense. Come on, frame rate. One thing I've also noticed is I'm starting to get, speaking of City Skylines, is I'm starting to get some City Skylines like traffic on the diagonal sections of the RHW 10 here, or 5. It likes to use the inner and outer lanes. The middle lanes don't like it used too much, so that might be. It just makes me think of Skylines, because you'll have like a 6-lane one-way road, and only 1 lane is used, and it's just backed up to oblivion. Everything else is fine, so the pathfinding is a little weird. Yeah, let's alleviate some jobs here. Oh, I got brown box here. Alex Avenue. I haven't heard of that one before. That's probably why I'm seeing the brown box. Probably remember that. I'm not going to write it down. I'll delete it, but it's a huge 6x6. Those lots are really rare. In the vanilla game, the largest you'll ever get, I believe, is 4x4 developing. So if you ever zone an area that's larger than 4x4, it'll never naturally develop. What's going on here? Why did it build a street? Oh, I don't want industry. Frame rate's so crappy, I can't figure it out. Oh, I don't want a D-zone here. Yeah! Be nice. Yeah, still lots of job slots. In fact, it's building abandoned a bit here, so that's not good. Alright. Related to the job problem, and I don't want to load other cities while this is recording. Just gonna kind of look. Maybe this area between the one-way roads. This could be some nice commercial. Not as too large, I know. Try and give them some jobs. Yeah, whatever, I'll develop over this. And of course, people don't know how to grow. I might just turn this into a park or something. Just a classic large park. My parks menu's huge, I apologize. You know what, this looks fun. Let's just throw this dude here. Why not? Does it look out of place? Yeah, a little bit. But whatever. Basically, whenever I see that briefcase, I just think of detector jams. You know what? I'll just zone this all that too. Looks like I'm starting to make some profit as well. Yeah, actually a healthy profit. I might just increase taxes a bit more. Encourage some more development too. Yeah, I'll run a bit of a deficit. I got a lot of cash. So I can afford to run a deficit. Yeah, this should help out with some of the jobs. Take a quick screenshot. See how other areas of the city are coming along. Not this thing. I gotta delete this building. I keep telling myself it overhangs a bit. AMA building. I gotta create a ton of brown boxes in my other cities. So that's not gonna develop at all. I might just turn that into, rather than rezone, I might just turn that into forests. Where was my forest parks? Frame rate, stop. Working harder than ever. Yeah, come on. I just burped there, I apologize. I'm drinking some sparkling water. It's flavored sparkling water. Doesn't have any salt or sugar or artificial sweeteners, but it's flavored like mandarin orange. It's very nice. I hardly drink pop anymore. Not that I really drank a lot of pop in my life, but replace it with this fizzy stuff, and it's more bubbly, and you can mix it as well. Like, it's a nice mixer with some whiskey or scotch or vodka. It's just nice. It's just nice and refreshing. I'm not promoting any alcohol here. I think that's the first time I ever referenced any kind of drugs. I can tell you one thing about me. I have absolutely no idea how to smoke. And I don't ever plan to learn. Even though marijuana is legal in Canada. Okay, so there's some traffic here now. It's starting to increase a bit. That's good. Yeah, I have no idea how to smoke. I might have a cigar a couple times a year, but you just put that in your mouth. You don't inhale. Even people who actually smoke, if you inhale a cigar, there's no filter or any smoothness. People just choke, hack all day. So, yeah, that's a fact about me. I never want to learn. So, if you don't know how to smoke, I guess that's a good thing, unless there's like a real medical reason why you need to. I basically cough if anything other than air goes into my lungs. Every once in a while, I'll take a sip of water, and I'll like breathe heavily while I drink it. I'm a complete idiot because I'll start throwing a little water into my lungs, and I just start coughing and hacking all over the office, and people think I'm dying. And I just say, no, I just inhale some water again. I'm a stupid idiot. Luckily, I haven't really done that with other beverages, but I think I once inhaled coffee. That was not fun. I'm sure it wouldn't be fun if you inhaled pop or something very acidic like orange juice. That would not make your lungs happy. Why am I talking about this? This is what happens when I talk to myself. I don't really have a stream. I don't have a Twitch chat. I'm just talking and commentating over a city that's growing. We just reached 200,000 people. I'll take another screenshot. This is what you get from me when the game doesn't crash or go crazy. I've had a good run. I'm not a superstitious person at all, but you know, knock on wood if you want that the game does not crash, because we've had a very good run so far. And it's really working overtime. Looks like we got some repetition going on here. A lot of the same buildings are being constructed. That'll happen. I might have to come back to this another day and revisit and kind of fix things up a bit. The biggest offender is the high-tech industry. Even with all the different buildings I've had downloaded over the years, there's still quite a lot of repetition in my industry. I need more. I need to download more and more buildings. But yeah, this is looking. I think this is looking pretty good. Take a quick screenshot here. This whole everything in my screen except for this very top left area is developed. I'll move my window over a bit. I just had it. I think that's good. I can kind of throw this in. If you guys are on Reddit, I try to post on the SimCity Reddit, SimCity 4 Reddit. I try to at least post there maybe once every other day or so, either with a screenshot or some kind of reply to a comment. There's some good stuff there these days. Sites like Simtropolis are still going strong. SimCity 4 Devotion is a little slow these days, but when you got a game that's been out since 2003, and there are some technical successors to it, you know, that's kind of known, right? Skylines, people like doing stuff there. Anyone's watching that usually plays Skylines, hello, it's to SimCity 4. I'm Hell Jackie, I've been doing this shit for a long time. I have fun! That's why I still play the goddamn game. It's out from 2003. Alright, I'm starting to get a little mad. I don't know why. I'm just passionate, I guess. Look at this palm tree. This isn't a tropical region, but whatever this building is here, it looks like a fancy car dealership or something. Based on the cars parked out front. Yeah, I got it! It is a luxury auto yard! It's from that Matt B guy I was talking about. Employs up to 58 people that are all high wealth. So yeah, you could say like this is almost like this region may be like Vancouver, Seattle area, where it's not very tropical, but because the temperature is constant enough, some types of palm trees can grow. It can snow there though. I know this year Vancouver got a couple degrees below, and it snowed, and people there. It's Canada. There are Canadians that have no idea what to do when it snows. A lot of them probably just have summer tires, not even all seasons. They're just getting stuck. It's not enough snow plows. I don't know. Being from Ontario, Canada, actually the region I'm from is actually notorious for snow. London, Ontario is kind of in between some of the Great Lakes. So depending on which way the wind blows, a lot of the moisture from the lakes comes over the city, and all that moisture in the wintertime turns into snow. So between maybe as long as the lakes are open, so between maybe -1 and -10, the lakes aren't that cold, so a lot of it doesn't freeze over. So all that moisture gets carried into the clouds, wind blows it over, and we get what's called a snow squall. You can look it up on Wikipedia or whatever if you want. But it's or another term for it is lake effect snow. And sometimes if the conditions are just perfect, there's a little stream of wind that just carries absolutely heavy snow across a very narrow strip of land. Sometimes that comes into my city. I think there was one year, it was 10 years ago, 2010, where we got about 100 centimeters of snow in less than 3 days. So 72 hours, maybe 60 hours. If you get closer to the lake, that number increases to 150, maybe 200. So imagine your body height. Like the average person is what 1.7 meters high? Or, I don't know what that is in feet. What is that? 5'7", 5'8"? Just imagine the average person's height. That's how much snow you got over the weekend. Just a weekend. If it doesn't get cold enough to melt, that number will keep going up. So, and even with that, my city did not declare a state of emergency. It's just like, this is Canada, this is snow, get used to it. Sometimes this happens. I'll just fix that up. Alright, we're at 250,000 people now. I'm getting kind of eager, so I'm going to go over here and zoom out. Good, no crash. Still lots of areas to be developed. I got a lot of repetition. And I got some drive-ins. It's always funny when I see drive-ins, especially in a very densely developed city. Ooh, I see some abandoned buildings as well. That's what I get when I pan out here. It's just not enough jobs. I did not do a good job in this city. Not a good enough jobs with jobs. So let's take some of these remaining zones and zone for, I don't like you. Let's zone these for commercial use. Should help things out a bit. Jams. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just Google it. They took our jobs. Or if you want to be redneck, jams. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm going to zoom. I don't want to zone too much commercial, but it looks like it's important, so kind of get rid of this a bit. Make some high density along the most needed areas. I just don't like doing too much high density in areas that don't have a ton of mass transit, like subways and stuff. Quite a lot of repetition as well over here, but again, most of the buildings that I have downloaded from my cities are high density, so anything that's medium and low, I'm getting better at it, but other than these cities that I've been developing the past few videos, everything's high density that I build. Over here, there's still a whole lot of nothing. I expected that to happen. All this. Office. Some people come by. If you build it, they will come. They want jobs. Whoa! That's a lot of repetition, too. Overall, things are healthy. I haven't had a game crash yet. Hopefully my voice is okay. I turned up my microphone sensitivity a bit, so hopefully I'm not screaming. I also turned down the game sound effects and music because some people were complaining that you couldn't really hear me through the game sound. And there's no point in doing commentary if that's the case, right? But yeah, I still got some no job zots. Some abandonment here. Might just replace this a bit. But again, once I finish with this video and I reload some of the other cities that are nearby, The people in this city will realize that there's jobs there and commute effectively, so long as, of course, there's proper highway connections. But my traffic is still good. Let's take a look at some choke points. My advisor's telling me. See if I can pick some things up. This particular stretch of road is bad. That's the ferry terminal, buddy. Of course that's going to be bad. There's nothing I can really do over there. Alright. How about this particular avenue? Maybe I can build a by. Ah, it's a ferry! I did tell you. I told you before I started this video, or before I started growth, that the ferry terminals are notorious for traffic congestion. Just how bad is it? Well, let me query a bit. Yeah, it's 20,000 cars on this avenue. Yeah, that's, even by realistic standards, when you get to volumes of 20,000 for cities and things, they can get congested, especially at rush hours and stuff. So I will agree with my advisor that that particular stretch of avenue and that particular stretch of road are congested. I am not going to protest that. Makes sense. So because I've zoned a lot of office space, my population increase might go down a bit, but let's see. Let's look at some other stats while this is happening. But I'm just scared as well, so maybe I'll turn my data views off. Just give things a quick save again, because this beats a crash. You'll agree with me, right? If this crashes, not only do I have to reload the game, but I've got to go through all the time and growth that it took between the last save and where I am right now. So if I just take a quick second, let it save, let it do its business, it's a good thing. And a small tip with SimCity 4 is that if you run multiple windows, or multiple monitors, or you run SimCity 4 windowed, while the game is saving, do absolutely nothing. Do not click any other menu. It helps stabilize the game and make sure that you get a save until that save complete sign comes up and you can do whatever you want. It also messes up your region view. If you ever get like a blank city in your region view, sometimes that's why. Anyways, that's done. Let's take a look at some graphs and data views. I won't do zones because that kills my... that just takes forever to load. So fire, I don't really have the whole coverage of the city in fire zones, but that's okay. I can probably build a fire station over here. Wouldn't look too out of place. Crime. No crime in this city. The city I built in the last video, or even to this day, there's still a lot of crime. So people are good. People are good here. They respect the law. Interesting. Education, obviously these are probably new builds where it's low. So just new poor people. They'll get acquainted with my system later. Desirability, I didn't really do this with my last video just because of all the crashes, but the city seems to be a lot better. Seems to be good unless you're a farmer. Water, I believe, is good. Power. Here's traffic. Let's go back to the congestion view. That's the one I really care about. So I've got a red line here. This avenue's bad. Why is this avenue so bad? Maybe if I built some commercial areas along this, people wouldn't travel as much. That might correct things. That might make things a little less demanding. It wouldn't travel the whole way. What else is bad? We got this red line here. Whoa, big present box. Which one's this? Holiday Inn Express. I know that one's bad. I've had a big problem deleting that. There's some files that just don't want to delete properly. They stay no matter what. It's just annoying as hell. Sorry I'm swearing so much in this video. It was not my intent, but I guess I'm just getting a little worked up. Alright, I'm not doing zones because that just freezes the game. Land value. pretty good except for some problem areas. Probably got to look at pollution. That might be one that's important. Bay Ring's probably going to be okay. For some reason, these guys, well, I guess there's not a lot of development here, so that's probably why. Average age, pretty young still. Health, I'll get healthier. Air pollution's where I want to see some things. So there's some problem zones. Let's fix that up a bit. And this one corner here, I'll throw a bus stop in. Air pollution's pretty good for this city so far, though. 300,000, just hit 300,000. I'm close to that. Remember when there's 310 people? Almost 10,000 times that. Some of that might help. What else? There's this area. Yeah, there's a lot of density here, so that might explain it. If I shorten this, maybe I can kind of squeeze in some trees. That actually destroying any buildings. Yep, it's going down. Run a bus stop here too. There we go, almost all gone. A lot more development, including another repetition blue building. Ah! It's too much here. Maybe I'll pop something. Alright, let's spin the roulette wheel. I have one of those constant scrolling mice, even with the frame rate being real bad, but I'm just kind of scrolling and seeing where the it'll stop. Alright. Because the frame was so bad, I didn't get too far deep. Let's just scrolling like find something. What's this? Custom poppable. Well, that's not big. Just gonna keep scrolling here until I can see something that's that'll fit nicely. City Point. That looks a bit better. Everything else around it will develop a bit better. And I'll throw something else over here while I'm here. How about the bank? Royal Bank of Bennett. There. I get rid of most towers. In fact, obviously one building that replaces the other buildings is going to be the same building. Alright, I'll do one more. Spin the roulette wheel. How about the Shinjuku NS building? Well, that fits a perfect square. Alright. This is an older building. I remember this one from way back. That reduces some of the repetition. Back to air pollution control. Why is this one still bad? Is it the stadium that's producing a lot of crap? I don't understand. If I blow these buildings up, what happens? Is it just from the traffic? I don't know, that building's just like producing a lot of pollution. Here's the same building. What the heck is wrong with this building? Just like a big smokestack? Alright, this is gonna go down just by demolishing that, I bet. Yep. What do you know? What is this building, and why does it generate so much pollution? Samsung Town 8 building, Revis. It's so big, I have to keep going. Oh no, that's where it ends. What's wrong with it? It's low wealth. I don't want this in my collection anymore. Something's flawed with that building. Obviously, once I demolish it, pollution's going away. So why is this still a problem? Tell me another building built in its place. Alright, I'll just zone this as high density and see what happens. So yeah, there's a lot of repetition around here with these buildings. They don't look as bad. Those big blue blobs are much worse than these gray dudes. Approaching 350,000, by the way. Hopefully you're enjoying this. I'm an hour in, still going strong, so I'll keep it going. Oh, there's that car dealership with palm trees. Interesting. It's zoned for high density, so something else might develop a bit later. Not very many people are using the rail lines yet. I think once I start opening up the other cities and they know that there's growth in this city, things will be a bit better. But I kind of want to save. Things have been going almost too well. Things have been going almost too well, and I want to make sure that that's preserved. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. It's been an hour. And I've got 350,000 people in the city. Pretty significant. Most of the city's built up now, too. I've solved a lot of the job problems. Traffic congestion doesn't need to be looked at too much. Everything else seems pretty good. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with this, the way things have been going so far. Other than my short-sightedness to build sufficient commercial zoning, as soon as I zone this, boom, more cranes. What's going on? Looks like I put a little sign here. Here's that crazy intersection that took me forever to build. Not a lot of trains are using it yet, but the roads below are quite well utilized. I even have some slip lanes in here, because why not? And here's that crazy 35-meter high rail overpass, bullet train overpass. How high is that in a typical building? Maybe 8 floors? Maybe 10? Depending on how high the floors are, ceilings. Oh, there's a Hummer. The Hummer's coming back. It's an electric vehicle. Still an SUV though. See way too many SUVs on the road. Because like 9 out of 10 people that own an SUV do not use it for what it's actually designed for. People do not go off-roading. They don't go to the beaches. They don't go to a campsite. Just travel on paved roads in the city, the same that any sedan would do. But they don't want to get the minivan or the other car because that's not cool. Suck it up, guys. They get better fuel economy and everything. I'm not going to get into that, even though I am. I know. It's just one thing, I guess, that kind of ticks me off a bit is the big SUV craze. I think the Chevy Impala I was reading yesterday, last Chevy Impala rolled off the line. So if you want a full-size car, your only choices now in North America are the Chrysler 300, which is a piece of crap, the Dodge Charger, which is also a piece of crap. Or the Toyota Avalon, which is kind of, I mean, it's not a piece of crap, but it's kind of pricey. Just get a Camry. What's going on here? Abandoned still. Not enough jobs, maybe? It holds a lot of people. Yeah, so I guess I'm just old school. I just like regular cars if you're just getting from A to B. I drive a car, obviously, or else I wouldn't be complaining too much about SUVs unless I actually use my SUV when it was for. But one big thing about cars is they have something called a trunk, and you don't have to worry about any of those like tonneau covers or hatchback covers or whatever. From whatever's in your trunk will never be visible from robbers. I could have gold bars in the back of my car, and other than seeing the rear suspension sag, you'll never know what's in my trunk. It could just be air. It could be $10 million. All these hatchbacks, they got you got to cover up what you have with either a blanket or something, or one of those actual tonneau covers or whatever they're called. They just look suspicious. Ah! Why? Why do that? Looks like construction's really taken off now. Alright, now the highways are starting to get a bit busier. 32,000 cars, 4,300 buses. Okay, that's legitimate volumes now, so that's good. I expect my traffic stats to fall. Yeah, traffic has now gone from good to okay, but obviously it's somehow improving now. Everything else is good. Everybody else likes what's going on. Stop building these stupid buildings! I gotta delete these from my plugins. Just make these high density, okay? Just die, okay? And I can accept these. These look okay in repetition. If anyone's curious with all these things building here, it's another Mat B building. Standard Federal Savings Bank, maybe? Obviously, I should probably replace a few of them because it's a bit overkill. Come on, don't freeze. How about our room place? Oh, here's a 4x1 zone. See, that's the problem with growing stuff. Is sometimes you run into some problems like that, but I'll take that by instead of just plopping everything everywhere. These buildings make sense, like these brick buildings with the roofs and stuff. I like seeing those things. Alright, spin the roulette wheel. Set my mouse to Spinny Boys, that's what I call it. And it's gonna land on 425 Lexington Avenue. That's a nice building. Put that right there. That looks pretty nice. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's a Manhattan building. Okay. What taller buildings? Why not? Probably see this one from the bridge pretty easily. Once I load the city on the others to the east, I'm sure there'll be a lot more traffic going that way. Before I started the city, traffic was flowing westward. Now it's flowing eastward. $381. Am I gonna maybe cap around 400,000 before things start to stall, or will I keep going? What do you think of this urban fabric here? I think it looks okay, other than some of the abandoned buildings, which was my fault due to a lack of jobs. They might fix themselves. They'll fix themselves up, or I can just demolish them a bit. Grave need. Grave need in Slayton. I think they mean graveyard. Let's build a graveyard, why not? Let's accept. Let's build a graveyard here. Why not? I ain't afraid of no ghosts. If you like the movie Ghostbusters, there's a fun video, music video, rehab called Bustin'. I don't know why, but it reminds me more of Blackjack than Ghostbusters. Because in Blackjack you bust. Get it? Haha, funny. No. This is what you get from me when I'm an hour plus into a video and the game hasn't crashed. Except it's, it wants to. Really not working too well, but it's still working. It's quite a tall building. A little out of place. I just want to replace some of these abandoned structures rather than just demolish them. $3.99. That's what I'm at right now in terms of population. And 408. 400,000 people in this city. Maybe I can cap it off at 5. Too tall. Not wide enough. 411. Oh, that's too big. Need something within the scale of my existing buildings. This is kind of fun. I think this is a building in London, England. Doesn't quite fit in my zones, but find a better spot for it. Right, what's another area that needs some growth? Yeah, not much going on here. That'll provide a lot of high-income jobs. $4.20, man. $4.20. I told you I can't smoke. It's not that I can't. I just don't want to learn. There's that crappy building again. Northeast Trust Bank. Demolish that one. And yeah, since that other city's developed, and once this one's done, I'll probably make a UPI video. One or both. I came through these and I forget the name of the video. See if I can load it up. Break things up a bit just while I wait. Sorry that the audio disappeared. I just want to look up the name of the SimCity 4 video that I made. You can just see me kind of drive on the highway on the way here. Expedition. That's it. It looks like this. You can kind of see, yeah, I'm coming over the bridge, right? You can kind of see everything that's kind of developed here. Right, that's the other city, so I'm I'm kind of traveling through that interchange with all the lanes and then the curve, right? You'll see the curve, right? And if I kind of, I'll just delete this building. If I go over here, here's the interchange and here's the curve. Now with traffic. 44404. I wonder if I can get 444444. Let's see. Can I get it? Probably not. No. Already at 8. People always like when something lands perfectly. Like, you just glance at the time and it says 11:11 on the clock. People just like that. They like symmetry or things align. Maybe it's a human condition, I don't know. A lot of these, I gotta delete this building. I keep telling myself to. It's like this bullet train line's like a divider in urban growth boundary. There is nothing beyond it. Most of the buildings I have are for very high density cities. This town seems to be holding its own. A lot of infill. It's all good though. If there's no crashes, I want to keep this video running until I hit 500,000. At least. This is a part where the repetition together doesn't look too bad. Take a screenshot. I always like these row houses too. It's another map B325. This guy makes good stuff. Some repetition going on here too. What are these ones? Don't tell me they're a map B. No. RDQ props 470 Collins Street. I'm querying a lot more of this video because a lot of people are asking me what certain things are, so it should help. And if you're always if the Simtropolis search or whatever isn't working too well, I like to just Google search it. Just type in SimCity 4 or Simtropolis next to it. Get some nice links directly to it. Ah! Go away! Here, zone high density. I don't care. Just get out of my sight. A lot of people using the railroads. It's interesting. I guess they're not providing a very direct. Maybe it's mostly interregional that people are using these for. $4.76. Spin the roulette wheel. We ran on shopping mall. Oh, is that a road connection? like drag from it? I don't even know my own stuff. Looks like it's just a landmark. Is there a, there was another one that might function. Come on. Well, why do they both say LM? Oh, they're both like sections. Oh, holy crap, this one's huge. Like that was like an extension or something of it. Okay, this isn't gonna fit anywhere. Still in a grocery store. That doesn't work too well. I don't know, where does it live most at home? Nowhere. Do I just rezone this? I'll find something. A little too small. Maybe I'll just throw it here. That's too big. Give me something. That's better. Throw that there. A bus stop. Trees. $483. Closer to 500,000. Alright, now one more plop. I think that's enough plops in this area. Chase Bank. Let's take a look at some other areas of the town now. Yeah, very city skylines like traffic on the diagonal stretch here. What in the heck? It's weird. It's either take the fast lane or the exit lane. Nothing in between. I can't explain it. Maybe there's a pathing error on the curves. I don't know. Definitely a pathing error if it's going over the grass. Where the hell is this coming from? Ah, this guy just zooms over. $4.95. Alright, once I hit 5, I will save. And then I will try and do maybe a zoom out before I end the video. I don't know how streamers can go several hours without breaks. I'm not even streaming here. I'm not even interacting with audiences, but I gotta pee. It doesn't take me long, over an hour. I want to take a break. It's just me? Whenever I make commentaries, I need to drink a lot of fluids to keep my whistle wet. If I talk with a dry mouth, you wouldn't get nearly as much commentary. We've hit 500,000 people, and there's still some areas left to be developed. This town might get up to 6. Maybe even higher, I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I think this was a lot of fun. I'm just gonna hit the save button here. Yeah, with that puts my region population very close to 40 million people in one region. I think that's larger than the Tokyo metropolitan area, which is around 35 million or so. These aren't going to develop. These are not well aligned here. Just seeing that. Yeah, I know there's some other cities that are probably going to surpass Tokyo pretty soon. Lagos. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Lagos. That might be the next city to overtake in terms of metropolitan population. Some cities in China that are getting close too, I think. Those like big administrative regions, and don't count out Bangladesh, India. Just by zooming out I died. I'm gonna end it there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I got to 500,000 people. That'll be it for these pre-developed cities until I get some more ready, but they're just going to be low density. I'll make some UDI videos and stuff. And yeah, happy, I guess I filmed this on February 29th, so happy Leap Day. We'll have another one for 4 years. Anyways, I'll end it there. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching all the way. Bye.